Welcome to Benched with the Tovar Brothers.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench. We are the Tovar Brothers. Wednesday, August 23rd, episode number 17. And listen, we had to work to get to you today. As you can see, Angel was frozen there for a second. Now he's good.
Okay.
We're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it.
Keep going.
Yeah, we're going to roll with it. I am on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic on a cruise with my family. Angel's back at the studio. If I could tell you what we've done to get here right now, you better listen to the freaking show.
We're here and we're happy to be here. Thank you for showing up.
We're happy to be here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. To all of you, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. The numbers have been so awesome. You guys have been incredible, and we are forever thankful to you. If you have a minute, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, turn on those notifications. If you can leave a review, it is huge for us. And we know you're awesome, and we know you're going to leave plenty of reviews, and we're just going to thank you in advance for that. Ames, what's up, man? How's it back in Cali?
Good. It's back to being 1,000 degrees outside. Summer came right back, just where it left off. It was nice. It was nice having a little break, but now it's summer again, and it's freaking hot outside. I walked outside, and I was wearing like sweats. I had to go change. It's back to being summer in LA, and all things are normal.
And by little break, you mean the hurricane?
The hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah, the hurricane. The little break, that was the hurricane.
Right.
Hurricane Hillary.
We spent the day at the beach. You could see, maybe you can't see. I'm a little red. My face is burned for sure. The beach there in Bahamas, that white sand. The warm Atlantic water was kind of threw me off. And it's saltier.
Warm.
It was like warmer. It's not warm, but it's like warmer than you expect the ocean to be. So that was interesting. But we had a good time. We're out there all day, exhausted. It was to go back. The girls are out eating right now and enjoying this cruise.
You probably eat so much on cruises. That's probably all you do.
There's a lot of food this morning. So we have an inner room, so we don't have a window facing. We have no windows. So this morning it's just pitch black, and my two girls and my wife just slept. And I was up at 5:30, and I got up and had breakfast, and I'm by myself, and I walk into their big breakfast room, and it's just options everywhere. It was wild. It was an incredible time.
What did you do? Waffle or pancake?
I didn't do either. I did donuts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Like, it's vacation, whatever.
They were just popping them out, man. They're about that big. And I love me a maple donut.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, having a good time out here. There's a lot going on in the NFL, and I'm so pumped to get to it. We're just going to run through everything going on right now, kind of catch you up
so much
as to where things are standing. There's so much going on right now. So let's jump right here into it. And we start with the Raiders. And a report came out, I believe, by some local reporter saying that Josh Jacobs would be there for week 1. And Raiders Josh McDaniels says he has no update on Josh Jacobs as the season approaches. So it appears that whoever put that report out just doesn't know.
Unless it's like, at this point, you know Josh Jacobs well enough as far as how outspoken he's been about it. You know, if it's not coming from his mouth or you don't see him in the facility, it's not going to happen. You know? Right. And like, someone can report all they want. Hey, it's going to be he. And if you look at the wording of it, they say they expect him to be back. It's like, I expect him to be back. It's like, there's no like commitment. It's just, I expect him to be back. Yeah. So this is tough for them. They have a bunch of backs because the Patriot system that he's running, they have a ton of backs. So they're just going to go probably hot hand to let Zamir White maybe as a lead. I don't know, but that's tough.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one as it plays out, because even now, if he shows up week 1, he's at such risk for injury that that's how that usually works. And then what are they going to do? Are they going to run him into the ground with no training camp and only 1 year on the contract? And what's the dynamic like in the locker room?
Yeah. And Josh McDaniels is proving that he's still just big of an idiot that as he was in years past. So Good luck, good luck, Raiders, man. I can't stand Josh McDaniels. This is what he does. He gets the players that are there, and he's like, you know what? I'm the star, so you guys can leave.
Yeah. So Waller now gone. Hunter Renfro rumored to be on the trading block. Jacobs not in town. Interesting.
And Devontae Adams has publicly said he doesn't like the direction, but he kind of cleaned up after. But
Right.
I could see them trading him at the deadline or something. Like I could totally see that.
The Seahawks are expected to activate All-Pro safety Jamal Adams off the PUP list this week. Adams has not played since suffering a season-ending quad injury in week 1 of last season. He's been out for a minute. That must be some quad injury. Jamal Adams now, he's coming back to a very different Seahawks team. This is a good. The thing about the beginning of last year, there was question marks all around this team, and they had a solid year. Geno Smith was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. Metcalf and Lockett had huge years. Then they had the offseason they just had. And you think, okay, if Jamal Adams is anything what Jamal Adams used to be, this team can make some noise.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a difference maker since he came in the league, and he's been out of the league. So he's more of an inbox playmaker. But for that system that they run there, that elevated Cam Chancellor to superstar levels, he comes back. They have Diggs. Diggs as free safety. They just signed Jordan Love. Not Jordan. Right. I'm sorry,
Julian.
Not Jordan Love. Julian Love. And then they have the young rookie corners. This secondary could be very good.
Yeah, they have Bryant and then of course Tariq Woolen, one of the most underrated rookies from last year. He's very good. This Seahawks team, man, I'll tell you what, Jamal Adams gives them a certain attitude on defense. If they can figure out how to use him in his best way in this point in his career, which I think if anyone can, Pete Carroll can. This could be a season almost like those magical type seasons. You got Geno Smith at the helm. Everyone feels good about that. You have weapons galore scattered across the field. This could be a really fun season for Seahawks fan.
Did you see? So the Jets traded them to traded to Jamal Adams. Do you know what the 3 picks? You know who those players are now?
So you're talking about the 3 picks that they sent to New York for Jamal.
Seahawks traded 3 picks to New York and one of those picks ended up being McDougald. He's just a safety that kind of bounced out of the league. One is Elijah Vera Tucker, probably the best lineman on that Jets offensive line, and the other one is Garrett Wilson.
Wow, not bad.
So you trade Jamal Adams for Garrett Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, and a safety who's out of the league. So basically, it's Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson for Jamal Adams.
And that contract.
That's how it all panned out once it all end the contract. So as much as we praise Jamal Adams as the player, the Seattle Seahawks gave up a lot. So you best believe they want to get the best out of him as fast as they can. They got to make up for this lopsided trade as it looks like right now.
Moving on here, executives don't believe Jonathan Taylor will net the Colts a first-round pick, and that's what kind of the Colts want. So let's back up here. And the news broke yesterday that the Colts will grant Jonathan Taylor and his team permission to go and seek a trade. And so now rumors are starting to fly around as to what he could net in a trade, who would be interested in trading for him, all these different things happening. This is a really fun story for fantasy because where's Jonathan Taylor going to go? That's it. You never in your wildest dreams, you never thought Jonathan Taylor would be on the market. And yet here we go. They're taking calls from real GMs about Jonathan Taylor. I mean, what do you think?
There's 2 things. There's 2 sides of this. There's the fun side and the ugly side. The fun side is like, oh, this guy can go to a really exciting team or an up-and-coming team that's like a piece away or 2 pieces away that can like. I'm thinking about the Buffalo Bills. I'm thinking about the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm thinking about the Miami Dolphins, who are in that contention for Super Bowl, which see a little bit of a push, except for the Chiefs, obviously. But like Jonathan Taylor on any team makes them better. Right. Even at this stage of his career, those teams already have, because they haven't planned to have Jonathan Taylor, so they already have running backs that are good. So what they could do now is, all right, we'll trade for you. Come in slow, obviously, because you need to get acclimated. It's just fun. And then for fantasy, you're kind of just playing the lotto ticket if you draft him right now. You're just playing like, well, he can go to a credit backfield or to his own backfield. It's nuts.
He could absolutely ruin your fantasy running back if he goes to the Browns, who just cleared a bunch of space. The Nick Chubb owners are going crazy. If he goes to the Cowboys, who are rumored to have interest, all those Tony Pollard fans, see ya. I mean, there's just so many ways that he can just shake the league. He's that kind of talent, and we'll see. I'd be sad for the Colts in kind of launching this new like era with Shane Steichen and Anthony Richardson. You'd like to bring Jonathan Taylor in on that, but if he doesn't want to play ball, he doesn't want to play ball, and you gotta make the best decision from now on.
I don't know how this is going to end because we've seen this happen a bunch of times this offseason with running backs. Like, hey, man, don't know who's going to pay you. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to get paid what you want to get paid.
Right.
That's why they say, they're probably saying, go find a trade partner. See, it's not just us who doesn't want to pay you.
Yeah,
it's the whole league doesn't want to pay you. This just sucks for Jonathan. He's probably he's a remarkable talent. So whoever gets him is getting a true superstar. But I'm not sure people would you, as an Eagle fan, want to give a first round pick for Jonathan Taylor for 1 year?
No, I wouldn't at this point. I think they're gonna have to find someone who has a quarterback on the rookie contract, absolutely. Because you don't want to get paid, and someone who in an offense where you need some juice, where there's not a lot going on. An offense like the Eagles don't necessarily need Jonathan Taylor, but put him over on, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a team off the top of my head.
I'm thinking NFC South here. I'm thinking the Panthers. I'm thinking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have young quarterbacks or no quarterbacks. Put them in there to help establish an offense for you. You can pay them. You don't have to. Like, imagine a Buccaneers team with Jonathan Taylor, with Godwin, with Mike Evans.
Right.
You have Baker Mayfield just manage it. Let's just see what happens.
I like the idea of the Panthers. I think that's a perfect fit. You got the quarterback on the rookie contract. You have a team that isn't that far away as far as a roster. And someone like Jonathan Taylor, boom, that's going to be your offense.
You have Miles Sanders there. You have Miles Sanders there already, so you have a very good, if not one of the better 1-2s in the league.
Yeah,
so you can say we're just gonna ease Bryce Young into the league by leading the league in rushing.
Yeah,
with Jonathan Taylor and with Miles. So there's a lot of teams
play action. Let him drop it off to these running backs.
Yeah,
that could be a big one. Back to the Seahawks here.
Yeah,
we should have covered
exciting times.
We should have covered this when we were talking Seahawks, but we forgot. Seahawks rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba is set to have wrist surgery. I think he already had it, and he's going to miss about a month.
Yeah.
For Pete Carroll.
Okay.
Unfortunate, because he was already flashing. In fact, even on the play that he got hurt was a beautiful over-the-shoulder play, kind of at a weird angle. I think Drew Lock, I think your boy threw that pass, and he kind of gets tackled and goes down awkwardly, and down goes Jackson Smith-Njigba to start the season. Kind of keep tabs on it. Not a lot of I don't think it'll affect him. I think he'll bounce. It's a wrist. He'll bounce back and be the guy he was.
It'll probably affect him privately. You know what I'm saying? Is his right hand?
Yeah. Okay. So Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers says he'd like to play a few good years and then pass the torch back to Zach Wilson for the next 15 years. It'd be a really special 18 to 20 year run. If you're the Jets, you're like, I don't know. You just wanted Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. But now you got Aaron Rodgers, the leader, the mentor, all these different versions of Aaron Rodgers that we didn't see in Green Bay. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying these things about Jordan Love. Even if maybe he meant it, maybe in the private, he was saying those kind of things. He's now like, I'm a leader of this organization. Like, I'm going to embrace the organization, the future of the organization. You see on the Hard Knocks episodes, he's pouring himself into Zach Wilson. He genuinely likes this kid, and you got to be excited if you're a Jets fan. This is what you could not have had a better offseason.
Yeah, well, also to as the Packers side, you don't know if he was like this with Jordan Love because they just didn't let you. There was not a lot of media coverage
Right.
because it's Green Bay. It's just different coverage, and there's no hard knocks there. Maybe that's why Jordan Love's so good now, because he gets to tap behind this version of Aaron Rodgers, who I'll just teach you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just be a mentor, and he's already publicly said, Jordan Love has said too, they've been very supportive of one another. Hey, you move on. This is my team. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, and Zach Wilson should just take a step back. I'm gonna use this to recalibrate how I play.
This
He
could
has
save his
all
career.
the talent in the world. Yeah, he could save his career. But what's gonna be a little tricky is that they're going to sign him. If Rodgers plays for 2 years, they're going to need to sign Zach Wilson, maybe like a 2-year deal, like one guaranteed, 2 kind of optional. Zach Wilson. I mean, if you're a Jets fan, you're just like, you just got blessed by the football gods, a mentor, Hall of Fame quarterback, and a rebooted Zach Wilson in a couple of years. That's awesome.
Wow. Over to the Chiefs now. Defensive tackle Chris Jones. He's holding out still, and no one's really talking about this too much. But now they will, because he has claimed he will sit out until week 8 if he has to. And let me tell you right now, the Chiefs cannot afford to be without Chris Jones until week 8. They will pay for that dearly.
Broncos play the Chiefs twice in the first 8 weeks. So as a Bronco fan, I'm completely on board. Stay out the first 8 weeks, man. Please. I don't want to face you. If Aaron Donald just didn't exist, he would be by far the best interior lineman in the league. He is the entire D-line / defense for the Chiefs. He's so disruptive. I've seen him so much. I'm Bronco. I see him play. He's amazing. I don't know what the number is. I don't know if he wants to be top paid guy at the D lineman position, but pay him. Mahomes isn't even getting paid top 5 quarterback money anymore. He's I don't know who they're paying, but I don't know what's the hold up here.
Well, they're paying a lot of money to that offensive line for sure. They kind of bought a new line here this offseason. But yeah, I agree with you. You pay Chris Jones. He's still young enough. He's obviously still at the top of his game. He's everything to your defense. He's a big deal to your organization. He is the heart and soul of that defense. And I just, you tend to trust the Chiefs and how they do things. I don't get this one.
Yeah, it's a mystery because you don't know if they'll have some depth behind them, because you never really needed depth behind them. You just needed Chris Jones and whatever you had around him. This one's gonna be tough. I want to see if maybe they'll do some cap, saving moves with some of these veteran contracts here. Maybe they'll try to push some money back to get Chris Jones back. But I'll leave it. I'll trust them though to get this done before week 1.
What if that's who the Browns are clearing cap space for?
Chris Jones, Myles Garrett. They just traded for Denarius Smith. There's some teams. Every team would love Chris Jones. Let's get that straight.
Yeah,
every single team will love Chris Jones.
And this is not like running backs. You're not gonna have a hard time finding a team that will pay Chris Jones.
Yeah, or that can be involved, because even if he's late to camp, you'll be a third down guy.
Yeah,
until you get acclimated with the playbook. Yeah, I'm very excited to see where he goes. Hopefully, stays in Kansas City. That's where his legacy is. But if you go somewhere else, a lot of teams would be.
Yeah. Over
Denver,
now.
hey, come down.
Yeah.
Come on home.
Yeah. Sean Payton.
He's not from Denver.
Sean Payton's not making that phone
him
call.
And Sean Payton seems like a likable. Sean Payton seems like a likable guy.
Yeah. Former Eagles 9-time Pro Bowler, left tackle Jason Peters says he has interest in continuing to play, and not only continue to play, but to go and play for the New York Jets. Peters would serve as good depth and mentor the younger O-line. I'm not sure. I don't know. Peters has kind of kept his career alive much longer than I expected as an Eagles fan. I watched him play. I watched him deteriorate, unfortunately. And then I watched him, sadly leave the Eagles. And it was hard enough to see him play on one team. Then he played for the Cowboys. Now he wants to go play for the Jets. I need Jason Peters to hang it up.
He's just trying to get one more contract. I mean, I don't I don't think he's good anymore, but maybe just be a coach then. If you just want to, I'm not sure the Jets are going to pay you at this point. They already have a bunch of old tackles. They don't need another old tackle
Right.
who has his whole career has been he always banged up.
Right.
He's always had some kind of injury. I'm sure every player wants to play for the Jets right now, so that's not a shocker. Shocker is he wants to get paid again. I'm not sure anyone's going to pay him at this point. This is a mega injury that comes up, you know.
I think with Jason Peters, the thing for him lately in the last couple of years has been he's been an okay player, but he rarely finishes the game, which is not great, especially for the Jets. What I think maybe could work, if anything's going to work, is if he would switch back over to a guard. He played guard a little bit for the Eagles. If he wanted to do that, then maybe that's more valuable to them and more viable as him actually being an impact player. But as a tackle, I don't think he helps the Jets at all. I think he's just more.
Now, I mean, God bless you, buddy. I mean, as an athlete in his prime, he was pretty freaking phenomenal to watch.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, he was pretty good. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's time you just maybe get into coaching. Maybe I don't know something.
Yeah.
Maybe playing isn't in the cards for you anymore.
And maybe Mekhi Becton heard about this. I know you posted earlier about Mekhi Becton got that call from the coach, and maybe you heard Jason Peters sniffing around the locker room, and he thought, I better get my tail in action.
He played very well. As far as we just talked about phenomenal athlete, if they can get Becton right, this phenomenal, huge athlete to be the right tackle for Aaron Rodgers and for maybe Zach Wilson, in the future.
Yeah.
Watch out. I mean, he's always been a fascinating case study. He's like the big physical guy who, if he can get his feet under him and get his body right, can be obviously a very good tackle. So I'm cheering. I'm rooting for him because he's just you never hear any no drama from his side either. He just always lost such a weight. I'm hoping for that he finds it out.
Some rough news here from Commanders camp. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin is dealing with turf toe and will undergo an MRI today. Turf toe is one of those things that you're scared of because it could last the entire year. It could literally last the entire year. It could take him out for the year. Like it can really, really affect his performance this year. He did that in the Commanders when they defeated the Ravens, snapping that streak. And there's a lot of feel good, around the Washington locker room. And so this is such a bummer to see. I'll tell you what, though, if McLaurin misses time, you go get Jahan Dotson,
Fantasy-wise.
Yeah. I think I'll probably go and try to get him before this episode releases tomorrow because Jahan Dotson, man, to the moon if McLaurin's not there. But this is a bummer to see McLaurin go down with an injury.
Yeah, such a underrated wideout who has been talked about. Scary Terry, as some people call him. He's just a pro wideout. I don't think he's ever eclipsed 1,100 yards, but I don't think no one's blaming him. He's had some terrible, just ass quarterbacks, just literally like bottom of the barrel quarterbacks he's produced. You feel bad. And then I remember there was a clip on Hard Knocks years back where, it was NFL, it was something NFL Films-ish. And Ray Lewis had turf toe, and he said he didn't get over it until week 13, after the bye week. He said, I haven't felt this good since like preseason.
Wow.
That's just a little scale of how long it can take someone. Because I still don't know what the hell turf toe is. I have no idea what it is.
I don't either.
It sounds like a football injury, so I'll just believe him.
Right.
But hopefully he get back soon. I mean, not like this team isn't a huge contender this year, but he's technically in the prime of his career, so you don't want him to lose out on any kind of career stats. Yeah.
You got to be somewhat excited about what you've seen from
Sam. By the way, I was about to say Sam Howell looked pretty decent, and I was actually watching Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy. That was his first time calling plays where I get to see it. It looked like the freaking Chiefs offense. It was a lot of option routes from the tight end, option routes from the wide out, a lot of action going out. It just was. You could tell. Oh yeah, you played with Andy Reid, or you coached with Andy Reid for like a while. Yeah.
So a lot of things to like over there in Washington. This is a bummer. Hopefully he gets back soon and we see Scary Terry out there ASAP. We're another player who suffered all sorts of crazy injuries and is going to try to make a comeback. One of my favorite players to watch of not all time, but in the recent history, little man representative Tarek Cohen, formerly of the Chicago Bears. He has missed. Sorry,
the bat phone.
This is we're gonna make a show, baby. He has missed the 2021 season while recovering from ACL injury and has not played since. Now, his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, says today that he wants to make a return to the NFL. I know if I remember correctly, I don't have it in front of me, he dealt with neck injuries, didn't he?
I know he was banged up a lot, maybe because of the size. I know he'd banged up a lot. I'm not sure which injuries for sure, other than the knee injuries.
He's someone who I can really see fitting into a modern offense and being a difference maker better than when he left the league just a couple years ago.
A specialty player for sure, yeah. Put him on offense, say you're going to take certain play calls, certain stuff, yeah.
You look at what Jerick McKinnon did last year for the Chiefs and how it was a game changer for their offense. It was a surprise for everyone to see Jerick McKinnon doing that. And Tarek Cohen's that kind of player in his prime. I don't know what he is now. But if he'd come back and do that, I mean, he's only 28 still. And obviously he has some fresh legs. He hasn't played in a couple years. Maybe he gives us a year or two. Hey, if Jimmy Graham come back, Tarek Cohen.
Jimmy Graham nearly died coming back.
Let's talk about Jimmy Graham. What the hell is going on with Jimmy Graham?
Oh, he got arrested for being under the influence. And it was like he's under the influence because you got me?
Yeah, you're glitching. I didn't hear that. Should I say that part again?
No, I'm just saying he got arrested for being under the influence. Then it was like, oh, he's under influence because he had a medical something happened with medical, they might have had a stroke. And then now the head coach is like, oh, he'll actually be at practice. So he didn't have a stroke.
A seizure.
I'm sorry, a seizure. I don't know, man.
Is that real that he was actually drunk?
If so, they're covering it up pretty well because he's already expected to be back at camp, back at practice.
Now, see, I don't know what to believe with you because you're a conspiracy theorist. So I need to know.
I'm telling you, I'm not like he had a seizure, right? Apparently, he had a seizure. Okay. Now I never had a seizure before in my life, but I don't know if you could have a seizure just going right back to NFL practice just seamlessly, or the fact that the explanation came out after, like, oh, actually, he had a seizure. He had a type of seizure, whatever, but he was under the influence. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to save face of a New Orleans legend.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is the guy you want to see with a mugshot.
Or he was trying too hard for a comeback, and his heart just said no. You cannot play football no more. And also, these guys go through hell getting back in football shape. He has not been in the league for a couple years. Like last year, he was in the league, right? So It's just maybe he's trying to push it too hard. His body too hard. His body can't keep up with it. It's a big gray space around this thing.
Hey, you know what? Glad to see you back, Jimmy Graham, doing better.
Man. Just don't.
Whatever the hell happened to you, hope it stops happening, and stay healthy, big man. You'll like this one. Diana Rossini actually just tweeted, Jets offensive tackle, Dwayne Brown has passed all of his tests in Houston and is expected to come off the physically unable to perform list and return to the Jets. So that's huge news for the Jets.
Huge.
Big news there. Sure. To get him there at the right tackle?
No. Dwayne Brown will be left tackle.
He's going to play left tackle.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, maybe do you throw him out there right away with Aaron Rodgers and see what he's got, or not yet?
You play him as fast as possible. You probably play him in this preseason game. Like, hey, we need you to get in shape, man. I know it sucks to play this third game, but we need to get you in shape, dude. We're trying to win a championship this year.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know. It's tough. But they just made sure they've said sorry. They made sure Becton. They made sure they kept Becton at the right side. That's their plan. Becton's the right tackle.
Right. I'm checking Twitter now. That's all I see. I haven't seen anything new. Some other smaller stuff, some stuff happening over there. What do you think about all this stuff going on with the shows and people moving around? So what I'm talking about is the First Take show is an undisputed. So right, Shannon Sharp leaves Skip Bayless. Right, then he's rumored to have Keyshawn Johnson come in. Apparently that was Fugaze. And now Shannon Sharp going over to Stephen A. Who are you more likely to watch? Okay, Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. or Skip Bayless and Richard Sherman.
Anything but Skip Bayless. So I'll take Shannon Sharp and Stephen A.
Right?
You don't need mics for that show. You just put a camera from. You don't need mics. There's a scream, spitting, talking about who knows what.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp. Look, here's why I hate that he's an analyst now. No one remembers this guy was a freaking monster tight end. No one ever remembers that anymore. Now it's Shannon Sharp, the personality.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not watching. I'm not gonna watch Skip Bayless and anything. I'm not gonna give my time to that. No, it'll be Stephen A. and it'll be ESPN if I'm extremely bored.
Right.
And I'll watch Shannon Sharp and I'll probably watch the little clips on TikTok or Instagram of them though. I'm not gonna watch the whole show.
You should probably just watch Benched.
Yeah, or have Bench go on there.
Yeah.
I would love to see across Stephen A.
Well, that is all we have for today. A lot going on. We tried to cover it all, and we covered everything I could find. A lot going on. Stay on the page. Make sure you're following Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Bench Show because stuff's going to start happening here soon. I think these running backs, Kareem Hunt, is going to get signed soon. We'll see if Fournette signed. We'll see the Jonathan Taylor news. A lot of stuff's going to start happening. Make sure you're following. Yeah.
Before we leave, we have to put our tinfoil hats on and think about why the Browns put up $37 million worth of cap space. They cleared $37 million worth of cap space. The Cleveland Browns. They don't do this because they just want it for fun. You push. When you kick the can down the road contract-wise, you have to pay it at a higher rate at some point down this road here. Right. Cleveland next year's paying Deshaun Watson $63 million.
Right.
This year's like 19. This is
I'm
for
not sure.
a reason.
It like you said, it's so interesting because you have to make this count, right? You don't just do this to lower your cap. That doesn't help you because you're making life worse for no reason. So they're obviously looking at bringing in someone, maybe multiple someones. We have talked about several of the guys that could come in. We're thinking Jonathan Taylor. We didn't mention Chase Young. He's still disgruntled over there. And, of course, Chris Jones. And who knows? Maybe Stephen A. was right and Stephon Diggs does want out.
There's so many guys who – because it's such a big number. So, this could be anybody.
Right.
Because 37 is like any non-quarterback player's rate.
Right.
And they just paid Watts. Like, not a quarterback. It's not offensive line. They're stacked there. Maybe a corner. There have good corners. I would love to see another wideout get out there, like a Diggs or a Mike Evans or a Marquise Brown or Michael Pittman or one of these. Someone get over there. We're just gonna build around this guy, Deshaun Watson, who we paid a bunch of guaranteed money for, to see. Let's just go for it this year.
Yeah, there's been so little drama around the Browns that we haven't even realized. They've really stacked the team around Deshaun Watson to where if Deshaun Watson, no one's talking about him, and they probably love it because they got enough media attention last year for signing the guy. Yeah. But they are the sleeper of the NFL. The sleeper. Because we forget how good Deshaun Watson was in Houston. He was a top 3, top 5 quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And so I mean, I don't know who this move's going to be, but it's going to put the Browns back on the map, and everyone's going to act surprised when they look at their roster and realize, oh, this is one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah, Watson's always going to be relaxed, so he's not going to be under pressure at all on or off the field. So there's so many guys that can fit in this roster.
Couldn't help yourself.
I couldn't help it. No, but it's just this team is so stacked already. Like, what more can you throw onto it? This division, the AFC North is not easy. It's just getting better and better. Burrow's entering his prime, right? Lamar Jackson's still in his prime. And then you have Kenny Pickett, who might be ascending into. This is tough. They're probably just
Pickett,
trying.
Trevor Lawrence. If Tua can
AFC
stay
in
healthy,
general.
AFC
Yeah,
so stacked.
it's tough, and they need to capitalize on this before next year. It's $63 million next year. Not a lot you can do when you're paying one guy $63 million.
Right.
So whatever they do this year, or in the next couple of days, or before camp ends, or before preseason ends, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, because as far as inside the Browns organization, you signed Deshaun Watson to that contract, you are in Super Bowl or bust mode until that contract's up, because you are all in on the guy, and it's not worth it unless he wins your Super Bowl. So, they I mean, if they do get a couple of superstars or whoever they're gonna get, good on them, because you got to strike while the iron's hot type thing. Yeah. And Sean Watson, I heard he's looked good, but I want to see it.
This feels like a real mystery player going to the Browns at some point. We're going to wake up one day and it's like, they traded for who? They traded for what? Like, I don't even know who to start with, who could be traded there. That's like a star somewhere who could be moved, but so much. Maybe like a Buda Baker goes there and he asks for a trip. Maybe they start stacking at defense. A lot of running backs, but maybe they're going to pair someone with Nick Chubb. Maybe they just want to keep that running game solid. A lot of running backs who want deals.
Yeah.
And they could fit that money in there. So who knows?
Yeah, my money would be on the defensive side, but could be literally anyone with that much cap space.
$37 million. So
yeah. Well, that's our show today. Thank you so much for joining us. And on Friday, we had some technical issues, but on Friday we will have hopefully an interview for you. Maybe not. I don't know, but we're going to have a show. That's for sure.
Like we said on Monday's show, the NFL doesn't stop, so we can't, we won't, and we don't want to.
It won't stop. Hey, NFL, week 1 is coming, baby. We are so close now. September 7th.
Yeah, Thursday night, sit there, Lions and Chiefs, like football is back over, and then you have the lull between Friday and Saturday where you just kind of prepare yourself mentally. Then Sunday you wake up, cup of coffee, you check your fantasy team one more time. You play barbecue. I don't know what time zone you're in. As a person who's in LA, 10:00 games is enough to have a nice breakfast, power meal, maybe crack up a little beer. Whatever. Who knows? I can't wait. We're so close. I could feel it.
You hang in there with us. Go through. We're going to be with you 3 times a week, the entire NFL season. We can't wait to enjoy it with each and every one of you. So excited. Thank you again for your support. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, all those different things. We will see you Friday. Take care.
Bye.